so maybe it'll be a little easier this time around. Yeah, my name's Kamina the coach, and again, this video isn't about me. Welcome back. If you're familiar with me, you know that I've made a lot of videos about working and living abroad. I've been working and living abroad for almost 20 years, and in my 20 years of working and living abroad, amazingly enough, nothing like this has ever really happened to me before. So as it says in the title, this video is about remembering the life of Thomas Alan Mogle, and I hope that I'm saying his last name right. We didn't call him by his last name, so this is a work colleague who the earth lost to the angels on the 9th or 10th of June 2025, Tuesday of this week. Today is the 14th of June 2025. So it's hard. And as I've reached middle age, these are things that I think about more, but hadn't been thinking about in terms of others, really. So I got to work yesterday and found out that we had lost Thomas. And, well, the truth is that we only knew about him what he wanted us to know about him. And honestly, what he chose to share with us of himself was the best part of himself. We didn't know that he had some heart troubles. I don't think I knew that he was on high blood pressure medicine, but I didn't know that there was any real problems. He was slender and very active and very happy, so it was a bit of a shock. It's an understatement to all of us. So I'm not going to go into the details because this video is really about remembering his life. So sorry, I need to move this a little because my picture isn't great. So I'm going to tell a story, and probably it may seem insignificant, but it was a really big thing for me. And I want to share a story now because I did speak. So Thomas was brought to the university yesterday for any part of a funeral that there will be for him here. I'm sure that his family will have something for him when they come to retrieve him this week to come. I'm sure his family will have something for him, but we had something for him at the university, and he was brought to the university so that we could honor him. And I think that they did a lovely job honoring his life yesterday. So I spoke yesterday. I thought it was important that people he worked with brought him in when they brought him to the university. So I took part in bringing his casket in and taking his casket back out, and that was very emotional. So I didn't get an opportunity to share what I spoke, but I was in tears the entire time, and the majority of the crowd is Mexican. I couldn't gather myself to speak in Spanish. I could barely speak in English. And I didn't really get to express what I needed to express to him. So though you may be watching this, in general, this video is for Thomas, and I know that his energy is here with us now. And so I wanted to take this opportunity to share my story, my Thomas story, and just share how I think that he has marked my life and made my life different and better. So when I first got here, I'm middle-aged now. I need insurance. We pay for insurance, but you can't use your insurance if you don't have like a medical passport. And it's not a simple process to go. I mean, it's not complicated. It just takes a long time. So if you don't get this medical passport, you can't go see a doctor. And it's a hassle. And it's hours and hours and hours and hours of standing in line. And of course, who volunteers but Thomas? Because Thomas volunteered for everything. Everything. I don't think I ever heard him say no. So I told him, I was like, just tell me what I need for this visit and I can go do it myself. He was like, no, don't be ridiculous. I'll meet you there. Now, mind you, we had to get in line at 3 o'clock in the morning. And we were there until probably 11 or 12 o'clock in the afternoon in line. It's freezing here. We live in rural Oaxaca, Mexico, and it's freezing here in the morning. And then when the sun hits you, it's basically like the desert. Freezing in the morning. When the sun hits you, it's like you're frying. His energy never faded. At some point, I was like, no idea what that was. Cat trying to get into my patio. So while I was running out of steam, his energy never faded. He was super easy to be with. We talked. I was new here. I only knew Thomas I got here around January 20th of 2024, and it's now June 14, 2025. So I've only known him about a year and a half, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Thomas was that kind of person. And it wasn't just me. At least 3 other people, I'm pretty sure, he has done the same thing for. Stood in that line at that hospital with the line wrapped around the block and just stood in line and be him. The only time I saw Thomas down was after this most recent election when Donald Trump got elected for the second time. That was the only time I've ever seen his energy really down. And to be fair, we were all pretty depressed. All U.S. citizens were pretty depressed. We were struggling. And that's the only time I really saw him not like, hey, I've done videos talking about that. I really respect Mexico and I respect Mexican culture and how it makes it a bit easier to live here for me. And Thomas was that times like 1,000. So I loved walking with him on campus because he was also like me. He made sure to greet everyone. And probably unlike me, really, really, really was able to lean into every single person. I tend to feel a little drained if I give 100% to every single person I encounter. And I don't know, maybe he was faking it, but it always seemed genuine. And if you ask anyone, I think that everyone would say they felt the same when they encountered Thomas. He was Santa Claus for 2 years for our department parade. He volunteered constantly, like I said, never said no to anything. And his energy was so light and refreshing. His door was always open. Sometimes I would just like go a little batty from sitting in my office designing curriculum or whatever. Sometimes I just need to just not even need anything. Just go have a chat. And I was always welcome there. And we could just talk for a good hour about absolutely nothing, and it was always fabulous. Always fabulous. It was a real inspiration as somebody who tends to the morbid side. It's really an inspiration to be around somebody who's made it to their 60s and still maintain this light, airy disposition. It's so inspirational. I know that my words aren't adequate. My words aren't adequate to celebrate the life of such a special person. I think it is the culmination of the stories of all of the lives that this man touched with his life that make it special. So I hope that others in other places, in other ways, will share their stories and their experiences of Thomas, because his memory should be honored. And I think that his memory will always be honored, at least in our department. I know that he worked in another part of Oaxaca for around 6 years. I know that he will be remembered there, and that his legacy and his memory will live on. And yeah, I know that my words aren't adequate. I think that I'm good with words. I think that's why, I have a YouTube channel. I'm okay with making complex ideas more digestible, but sharing the life and expressing how special somebody like that was, my words alone aren't sufficient. So if you're seeing this video and you knew Thomas, I would encourage you to tell your Thomas stories in the comments, or share this video somewhere else and also tell your story and encourage others to tell Thomas stories. Because my story is just one, and I know that there are plenty of other people who have Thomas stories. So if you'll excuse me for just 1 second, I want to speak directly to Thomas. I know his energy is here with us all now. Thomas, I want to say thank you. The world is a better place for having had you in it. I know for me, that's my only goal in life. That when I leave the earth, that somebody says that the world was better for me having been here. And I know that as you bid this plane farewell, that your life made that difference. Your life made that difference for all your students, all your colleagues. I hope for your family. I don't know your family, but I know your students and your colleagues. And I know that you've left a lasting impression on all of us. You've inspired me to work harder, to lean in, to be the kind of person I know I should and can be. You are an inspiration and a light that will never be forgotten, and you will never leave. You will always live in my heart. I'm so thankful for you. I'm so thankful for every day you stuck your head in my office and had a silly conversation or a meaningful conversation and said hello and just checked on me to see how I was. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing such a beautiful light with us all, especially in this world that is so dark these days. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I will miss you and love you and honor you forever. All right. That's it. There was enough crying yesterday. So, again, if you knew Thomas, you were touched by his life, please share your stories. Please share this video and encourage others to share their stories. I think, again, his life is the culmination of our stories. He was special, and I know that if you knew him, that you also felt that way. So I'll leave that here. Again, this was a very different type of video from what I usually do, but it was something that needed to be done, definitely. So, beautiful people, until next time, my name is Kamina the Coach, sending you love, light, peace, and joy. Until next time, I'm out. Peace. Can I stop this? I don't know how.